Here we go.
Yo.
Yep. We got a good show. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, it should be.
Should be a lot of fun.
Hey, we're Power and Speed. 908-751-0211 up here in New Jersey. It's getting cold, man.
Up here?
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah, we are up here.
I was outside today with that godforsaken pull at my mother's house.
Ugh.
Again?
What do you mean again?
Well, how far you got on it?
It's
farther than Fudd got on the swing set, apparently.
Oh, see, now I threw poor Fuddley Scroatmore under the bus.
That ain't right.
Well, anybody that remembers the whole swing set saga,
Debacle?
it actually still isn't done.
No.
So,
and the funny thing was that when I was talking to him today,
yeah,
the person that pointed out it wasn't done was like his 6-year-old kid.
nice.
So he's getting told on by everybody.
Total fail. Complete fail.
But our friend Fudd was offended this week, so I'm going to take it easy on him. He was a little out of sorts.
And so somebody said they're barely here, or they can barely hear us.
Should not be an issue. It's got to be them.
I could hear us fine.
Can barely hear
I can hear
Tom
me.
or Tad.
Yeah.
Let me just take a look and make sure that none got wacky here. No, everything's good.
Oh, okay.
Whoever it is, tell him
So,
to.
Kevin's got issues on his end.
Yeah, but if you could hear Mike, maybe it is something. Hey, if anybody else can't hear some of us, let us know. Because Mike has been known to fail at this thing.
Yeah, I can see Mike making his.
Every now and again.
Listen, you see those fucking bars across over there? Like the big fucking wobbly lines?
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yep.
Focus. See, when you talk, see that?
Blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we look over here,
Yeah.
these are all the channels.
Yep.
My channel.
Yep.
Your channel.
Yep.
It still says Fudd, but we know that's really now Tad.
Oof.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why don't you change that? That's insulting.
Yeah.
See, there's another guy that says everything's good
Yeah.
for him.
Who?
There's some guy in there said everything's fine.
Okay.
B-Doc
So we're
says blowing him, but.
Hey, B-Doc, welcome home, buddy.
Yeah, I haven't
Or
seen
he's
B-Doc
been-
in a while.
Yeah.
All right, so I have two guys that are calling in, thanks to a listener, Kevin. Nice guy. Hooked us up with two guys from Drag Week.
Yep.
First, we're going to have on a guy named Clark Rosenstangle.
Yep.
And I hope I pronounce his name correctly. He has a 2010 Camaro, twin turbo, Copo suspension, weighs 4,000 pounds.
That's heavy.
That is heavy.
Full interior? Or?
Yeah, it's like it is a street car.
All right.
No, he's got two interiors.
Really?
Yeah.
780s.
It's a limo. It goes 780.
Cool.
780s.
That's
pretty
fast for a limo.
Yeah.
You're
it
not
is.
kidding. I mean, that's a hell of a number at 4,000 pounds.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I would imagine with the Copo suspension, I mean, decent stuff, but to get the thing to launch and drive, and that's, I don't know, man, I'm pretty impressed with that one.
Yep.
And there's another guy. I don't know if I can pronounce his name correctly. We've been over this. But it's Jason Doisher, I think is how you would say it.
Okay.
He's got a really interesting car. He's got a Mercury Marquis,
Yep.
an 84.
Yep.
But here's what's really interesting. It has an LS swap in it, single turbo.
Nice.
It has a 5.3 LS swap,
Oh, one of those cheapo swaps.
completely stock.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like heads, everything.
Yeah.
Completely stock.
Well, it's more important to say like pistons and rods because they're really crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
3,500 pounds.
Yep.
Goes 860s, 158.
That's a sleeper.
Yeah.
Sure is.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So both these guys are going to call. Clark has gone to Drag Week for 11 years, and Jason's gone for 3 years.
Who's calling first?
Good question. Clark.
Okay.
He's going to be calling in at like 7:15.
What do you got, Ted?
Well,
Any car stuff?
I hear there's a record for Pontiac out there now.
Really?
The Crow has gone $399.
Oh.
A white Pontiac with an iron block.
Has he really degraded into Subaru territory?
Yeah.
Where they have a white car with a real...
He's got the Pontiac record, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pontiac people we've known are a little left of center.
Now, I haven't followed that whole transition to professional pro mod racer. How's it been?
Not good.
Not good.
No, it's not easy. I'm not, look, I'm going to toll on a guy for his Pontiac record, quote unquote.
I mean, I think that's probably his only problem. He probably doesn't have the power because of
it's
the
a
power
Pontiac.
plant.
Yeah.
I mean, if he puts a 481X in it, one of the real pro mod deals or a Hemi, I don't think it's the car.
Yeah, but he was talking about how much money that's going to cost, and he's already joking on what he's got, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's, I don't know how much of that is nonsense. I'm sure he could find some fan to buy that engine out of his car for a lot of money. But, whatever. I mean, it's $399 still fast. Like, I don't have anything that goes $399. Although I did set the carbon fiber mirror Forester record this weekend with red brakes, by the way. Yeah.
Red.
Yeah.
Flashy red or just
no,
dull?
dull red. I got to flash them up for when I sell them.
So you're going to have two records then?
Yeah, I'll have the shiny red and the flat red brake Forester with carbon fiber
a little
mirrors.
Selfish there.
I know. Sucking up all those records. Mike?
Yes?
You were like in La La Land.
Yeah, I was watching stuff in case there's any audio stuff going on.
No, it's all good.
Come on, he's thinking of what record he could take.
Hey, have you groped any women this weekend?
No.
Have you been caught on Mike talking about it?
Tom, listen.
Were you offended?
Listen.
What?
At some point, ixnay on the pussy eye, because I might try to run for something someday. You never know. Look, all comes back later on.
Okay, you're not running for.
You never know. Look, if Donald can do it, I can do it. Because I know, I'll tell you this, with the exception of last night, even last night, I could out-debate that bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Anybody could. She's dumb as a stone.
Yeah, but that was
she kills
Are we
flies.
really going to talk about his comment before some? I mean, I think it's insane. Here's what all right, now you got me going. Here we go again. I don't have as much problem with what he was saying in, how do I say this?
I don't have any problem with it. We've all talked like that.
Well, we've all talked like pigs. I mean, I know
Fudd.
My friend John's like, I grabbed that bitch by her hair. I mean, he's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff he says.
And he says it to his wife.
To his wife, yeah.
To his wife. Yeah. I mean,
and she tells me to dick. So
yeah, I mean, it's very strange over there.
I know.
But I have a problem with what he said because I don't think I've ever, like, nomenclature, what we said before.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever quite say exactly that. There are activities I might profess to want to do.
Yeah, all right.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not offended.
No, I don't think anybody was.
I talked to a whole bunch of women. Now, granted, they're women, I know, but none of them were.
So
offended.
that's a big qualifier.
Yeah, it's
Jeff's on.
It could be. Yeah, we got to talk about him too. That Jeff. Yeah, we got to talk about the other Jeff. But Alan was offended.
Yeah, whatever.
Personally offended.
No.
So to all you white knights out there, I'm sorry, I'm an evil person.
Yeah,
I am.
So yeah, we got to talk about Jeff. Instead, he's not going to be called Fireman Jeff anymore. He's going to be called Bent Rod Jeff.
He said to me, he goes, I'm looking at 3 bent rods. I said, are you looking in your oil pan? You at a gay bar.
I did see that.
He wasn't happy.
No.
Does that happen? This is what, an LS3 is what they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that his tune was horribly wrong. Something was wrong.
Well, of course, or either that or he had injector drivers go bad, and something. It was something because it's one bank, right? One side of the engine apparently went bad.
Yes, one side of the engine.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We should probably. Does he have a God, my mind just went blank, completely blank.
I guess so.
It really did.
No, one half of the motor pans off. Yeah. I didn't flip it over and look at it. He dropped it off today.
Does he have a data log? Of any of it?
Yeah, and all the guy that tuned it said is that it went crazy, but you don't know if it went crazy because it broke or it went crazy because something went crazy.
That's what the tuner said? It went crazy?
I think the exact technical term was wonky.
Wonky?
Are you kidding me?
No. Look, it wasn't, I had nothing to do with it. The guys called me.
But a guy that tuned his car said wonky?
Well, I don't know. I think that's what Jeff told me, so I would imagine that phrase came from, I don't know. Nomenclature. What are you grabbing?
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's all the same stuff.
Should be cattywampus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what actually happened, and I don't know what the log said, but he saw it happen.
Tad, you've spent a lot of time with Junior Tunes, right?
I haven't for years, but
no. But even back in the day, have you ever heard him use the word wonky?
Wonky. Not offhand.
No.
I've heard that term, but I mean, I again, I'm speaking out of turn, and I'm sure Jeff will fill us in at some point. But it's here, and rods are actually bent, and I can't.
It's here?
It's here. It's in the garage. It's in the building.
Oh, you dick.
What?
We're playing with a nail gun before, and we had that. I wanted to see that thing.
They're bent fucking connecting rods. What do you think they're going to look like?
I want to see the whole motor.
They're bent fucking connecting rods.
Right,
Well, here's the problem. It's not on an engine stand. Apparently, the back of these motors take metric bolts. Mike doesn't do metric. Mike never built metric.
All right.
So I got no way to put it on an engine stand. So I'm going to have to get some stuff just to hold it up tomorrow. I don't want to just flip it over on a Dex,
No,
just to look
of
at
course
it.
not.
But it's, fucking rods are bent.
Weren't you at Lowe's buying every
right.
kind of tool that Porter Cable
He
makes?
brought the motor like an hour and a half ago.
Oh, well, he should have brought some bolts.
So we're going to find out what happened. But I mean, is that normal? You said that's kind of a weak link in those.
Yeah, the rods are terrible. They're PM rods.
But what
powder metal, yeah.
Yeah.
No. And I get that. But that thing could actually bend a connecting rod and not
Better than break, yeah.
shatter a piston.
I guess anything can happen. I don't know. It did.
It did happen.
So yeah, I guess it can.
Okay. Well,
She didn't delete the emails.
we can't talk about that anymore. People are going to be offended.
She already said we've heard
right.
enough of that. We don't just ignore it.
All right. Well, we've got Clark calling in.
All right.
Let's see what his deal is. I got to tell you, that's
Which cars do you have?
He's the Camaro.
Oh, cool.
Camaro guy.
Yeah.
11-year drag guy. Clark, you there, buddy?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Pretty good. We were just talking about your car in the very beginning here. So,
Was it good or bad?
good. So this thing goes 780s.
Yep.
At 4,000 pounds.
Yeah, 177 miles an hour.
That makes some power, some steam.
A little bit. So
A little bit for a street car.
let's start here. How did you get involved with this, and what made you decide to go to Drag Week? Because you've been going for, 11 years now?
Since 2006. A buddy of mine who I worked with saw it in the magazine and decided we should do it. So we started it, and we never stopped since. It's pretty bad. It's like a drug. Can't stop.
So you take vacation every year for Drag Week?
Pretty much, yep.
That's pretty
A
cool.
week off from work and go and have fun, meet new friends.
That's neat.
Sounds like something fun.
So there are specific classes for there are a couple classes, right? Or 3 or 4 or 5. How
There's at least 12 or 13 classes.
Oh, are there that many now? I have no idea.
Well, I think they had to do that because it could no longer be, who was the plan. I mean, there's obviously going to be a guy who's the fastest in the meet, but
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're trying to drive competitors to come and do this.
Right. So
You got to have
break
some
it up.
delineation.
Yeah.
You have to.
So do they have a red Brembo brake class?
Not yet.
Okay.
Never know.
White Subaru.
Yeah, they might pretty soon. Or carbon fiber roof rails or some shit.
So this motor was done by Steve Morris, huh?
Yep, in Muskegon, Michigan.
Yep. And twin turbo. Tell us a little bit about the actual power plant itself, because that's a hell of a number at 4,000 pounds. I'm still kind of.
The 427 LSX, the Brodox B7 heads, the Holley high-rise tunnel ram, all Holley fuel injection system, Bullseye powered twin 80s,
Bullseye.
air-to-air intercooler.
Do we know those guys?
That's funny.
You just had mine last week.
Yep.
I just talked to him yesterday.
That's pretty cool.
His,
And that was not planned, I might add.
No.
No.
And actually, he and I were talking about Drag Week, and he said, "Yeah, we have a couple guys that run there a lot, and Clark must be one of them."
Yeah, I mean there was we didn't get your name or anybody from Bullseye. That's pretty funny. Well, that's good. There's a little endorsement for him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Sorry, man. Continue.
go. Yep, and then when I built the car, I built it as a Copo Camaro, so it's got all Copo suspension under it. It's got the 9-inch with 9.5-inch ring gear, range bolt through center section, 40 spline gun drilled axle. So it's pretty much built with actually the Rossler 210 Pro Mod tranny.
Wow.
So nothing should break on it.
How big are the turbos?
Should 80s,
Okay.
280s. Yep.
Did you replace something with those, or they're the first ones you had?
I had another Drag Week car that was running Precisions, and we'll just say that Bullseye stepped up and took care of the problem for me.
Good. Did they make better power?
I can get parts for him because they're like a half an hour away from me, and he'll fix it while I wait.
That's always a bonus.
Services.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good.
I got a question. What size tires on this thing?
Those are 315/60s.
Oh my God!
The Mickey Thompson Pros radials.
Oh
wow!
Mike's real question.
Small tire.
Mike's real question though is, can you go through Sonic with that?
Tad,
what?
I think I liked it better when you didn't talk. So wait. Wow.
Yeah, small tire.
Dude, 7
for that weight.
Look, okay, as a guy that was involved with all the super stock stuff, you know, to go 780s. I don't care if you had 9,000 horsepower. It's a 4,000 pound car.
Yeah,
you need, what is that thing? 60 foot.
124.
Holy shit!
We got more. We got more in it.
That's.
I know. It's crazy. Well, and drag radials are really sick. I mean, I think they're fat. If you're on a track that dead hooks, a drag radial's faster than a slick.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, but it's still a small tire. This isn't.
I know.
That's a hell of a fucking number.
Technology.
Wow.
Technology, man.
Well, that's a hell of a thing. Now, I got to ask, how many miles did you put on it for drag week? Because the format of this is you have to drive there and then go through a course, correct? Well, I guess you could
trailer all your tools.
Trailer it there.
Yeah, you can trailer it there.
Once it's there, then you got to drive it. So on drag week, we put on over 1,000 miles. And between the 1,000 miles, we had to take the head off twice because we had some issues, and we still finished our class.
Wow.
Yeah, we had 10 hours of sleep the whole week, pretty much.
I don't know if I'd ever be quite that motivated.
I know I wouldn't be.
You would be if you were in first place.
Yeah.
In your class.
Did you win the thing?
Yeah, in my class I did. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Time.
Okay, so we got a winner on.
But we couldn't stop.
Who was in your class? Like any other names or anybody we'd know? What class is it? Tell me explain the class.
We were a Super Street all black power adder. So the one guy's gonna be on with his Toyota Supra. He's on next, I guess.
Oh, he was in your class?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Interesting mix.
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching him the whole time because he's got a fast car.
Yeah, that car is fast. That car's very fast.
Yep.
This is like cosmic karma, dude. How could I have? I couldn't possibly plan all this shit.
No. This is
holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you did good.
So if just curiously, if he wouldn't have hurt that thing, from what I understood, he could have won it.
He could have won it, yeah, because I had a bad day in Indy. I leaned out 3, 5, and 7 cylinders halfway down, so we had to fix that. So I ran at 849, which I thought was going to kill me for sure, but we pulled it off still.
Yeah, because I guess he put his back together and went 9-0 or something like that. If he would have went 848, he would have won the thing.
Why are you hammering the guy? You're like, well, you won. Come on, dude.
No, it's still a
what the fuck, dude?
I'm not hammering him. What's wrong with you? Did you lose your mind?
Oh,
I'm getting hammered here.
Jeez.
After you put that picture on my iPad, I'm still a little shaken here.
What picture's that?
That's something we got to talk about at some point.
No, we can't talk about it because it'll make somebody happy. Mike put a picture on my iPad that I turned it on and it literally.
All right, look,
I almost threw up.
We are typical car guys, so we goof around.
Yeah,
and I happen to know that Tom is quite fond of the guy that used to sit in here with us, Fudd, and while he left his iPad here, I took the liberty of making it a screensaver in his background. I thought that was mighty nice of me.
Yeah,
and boy, you should have seen a look on his face when he opened hhis iPad. That was great.
Take it off or I'll hit it with a hammer.
Yeah. I lost my shit.
Well, that's pretty friggin' amazing. That I didn't see the problem is, like I said, this was the way we got in touch with some of these guys, because I don't know any of these guys. Kevin decided to try to help us out and get some competitors from Drag Week. So I didn't know the guy used Bullseye that Clark did, and I didn't know that he won his class. So, well, man, congratulations. That's pretty fucking. I'm impressed overall with the car.
Oh yeah, it's all over the internet. Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Now, how about your previous years? How did you finish? Like, is this your obviously your best finish?
Yeah, my best finish. I've won 2 seconds and a third, but I had a 95 Camaro that we came up through the years with. I mean, it was yellow, it was blue, and we changed motors like 4 times in it, and I got the LS motor in it, twin turbos, and pretty much sold on that the rest of the time. Because Steve Morse built that one too. So that one, I still got that one. It's a 9-flat car all day long, pretty much a bracket car now, or a grudge car.
That's cool.
Very cool. One of the listeners wants to know whose torque converter you have.
I ran Pro Torque and I got Neil Chance. I got 2 of them I run.
Okay. You get that, Aaron?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out which one's better. We don't really know just yet. So I got an EV1 from Pro Torque now, and I ran Neil Chance on Drake Week. So
is that one of the nice big billet converters?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She's pretty.
So what are you going to do for next year? If since Tom was nice enough to point out that you might need to step up, wait, I mean, is that thing that heavy naturally, or is there stuff you can just take out of it?
It's all steel. So we're planning on another motor, different block. So because we're at the max now with pretty much the horsepower that we're pushing through the LSX block, so we're going to do something different maybe and get more horsepower out of it, but we're not quite sure yet.
And that's that iron LSX block, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that thing. What, Tom, wasn't that as heavy as like a Merlin 3?
I think they're actually heavier a little bit. They weigh a ton.
Yeah, they're really.
Yeah.
So if you switch to anybody's aluminum, there's a chunk out of the car right there. Yeah.
A dart. Yeah. I'd like to find a sponsor that just give me a nice block, but I probably won't get that.
Well, you never know, dude. You won your class. Maybe somebody hear this. Listen, Clark needs a block. Somebody step up.
So we'll stand 2,000 or 2,500 horsepower.
Somebody just mentioned having to do a 2JZ conversion.
Yeah, right. Yeah, put a 2J in it.
All right, Clark, man, it was really good to have you on, man. And we're gonna follow your progress. But that's pretty awesome. So, anybody else you want to thank or that contributed, or people you want to say gave you a good?
Pretty much I already said. Yeah, Steve Morris, Bill at Bullseye Turbo, Rossler, all them guys are great.
Fantastic.
Shout out to Bill Devine.
Oh yeah. Don't forget Chubby Kid Street Cars from Wisconsin. He did my cage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're from Wisconsin?
Yeah. No, I'm from Michigan, but I took it over to Wisconsin.
Okay.
To have the cage done.
What part of Michigan?
Fremont, the baby food.
Oh, okay.
We make baby food.
Got it. Got it.
Very cool.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Clark. Well, listen. Congratulations. That's a hell of an accomplishment, and that's a hell of a car. If you could, get on our Facebook and get us some pictures of it. Something for us specifically.
Right
all right,
cool.
Fantastic, man.
okay. All right.
See ya.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, man.
Yep, see ya.
Now, that's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is. And damn it, I wish he wouldn't have hung up because Kevin just said Clark does the Ohio mile. Well, I didn't. I just saw it. It
Really?
just came up. Kevin just said Clark does the Ohio mile, I guess, with that car.
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Want to call him back?
Got his number?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Hang on.
We've never called somebody before.
Yeah, right?
I have.
Yeah, that's right. You call
As a matter of fact, I think when I did, it didn't work.
you call political people.
Yeah, that's true.
Ask them who they're voting
Operative.
for. You think that fly landed on Hillary last night because she smells like a pile of shit?
Yes.
Tom, that's not nice.
It's not ringing. Oh, now it's ringing.
You mean that?
Can the people hear that?
Clark.
Yeah.
It's Mike. You're back on. Tom had a question.
What do you got?
The guy that turned us on to you said you do the Ohio mile with that car too?
Yeah, done 220 in the standing mile and 192 in the half mile.
Damn.
Wow. So you couldn't go any faster, huh? With all that power?
Oh,
Here we go.
No, that was probably 4 months ago we did that. So we went back this last couple weekends ago. I hit 230, but we had some aero issues and we went sideways at 192. So we decided to stop for now.
Did you poop?
I got scared for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would do it.
Yeah, at that speed, maybe.
Definitely do it.
We're planning on going 230 or 240 next year.
Really? How much power do you figure that thing makes?
We make 2,075 at 26 pounds of boost, and that's what we're at.
Wow.
And we went sideways, 26 pounds at about 192. So car was making some steam. We were doing 150 in second gear already. Hit drive, and about halfway through it just went sideways, and I just let out.
What do? You just put a gear in the rear and let it go?
Yep. Yeah, we got a 300 gear, plus we have a gear vendor also. Yeah, big thanks to gear vendor. Yeah. They are the best. Yeah.
So how much, just curious if you remember, how much wide open throttle time did you have on that?
Oh, I had it down the whole time, went through the gears.
Oh, yeah, I know, but how long, how long was the run?
Oh, I bet you the run about, what was that? 14 seconds, 13 seconds.
To go a mile? Had to be longer than that, no?
Like maybe, I don't know. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I don't look at the finish line.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a long time wide open. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we just wanted to get that in. So you went 192 and I'm sorry, you've gone how fast? 220?
220, yeah.
That's an excruciatingly long dyno pull. Like, I wouldn't want to be doing that.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember you.
It was probably 18 pounds of boost at 220.
Wow.
Pounds.
Yeah, but
way more in it.
It's just so long. Mike would be crying. He'd have to leave the room.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You'd be crying. You'd be smiling.
Yeah, but you know what happens? Like, when you know what's going on inside that motor to make that kind of power, you're just, it's hard to sit there and do that. And somehow or another, when it's in a car, it's really no better, but it just doesn't seem the same.
Oh, yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I agree. It's just on the dyno, it's like, oh my God, shut the thing off.
The dyno's bad.
Yeah, everybody's saying under their breath, all right, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough.
Just like kind of leaning back.
Yeah. Pull the lever. Anyway. All right. Well, we wanted to just check on that. Just as you were hanging up, Kevin said that. So I'm glad we got you back and talked about it. But again, man, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
All right. Thanks, buddy. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Sure, you want me to call him back again?
No. Wow. Turbo Caddy said he's downplaying the mile stuff. He had a tire blow at 220. Wow. And pulled it off like a champ.
Well, then this guy's got a set of balls because he doesn't even seem to be bothered by it.
Well,
I mean, that's I couldn't even imagine that.
No.
Wow. Fireman Jeff did come on to chat. He said that the tuner didn't say wonky. He did.
Jeff said wonky?
Yes.
All right, Jeff, I want you to, if you have a penalty box at your house,
sit in it.
I want you to go sit in it for 3 minutes because that's just wrong. That's not even a word.
So we'll get to the bottom of, we'll get Jeff's thing apart and see. But I mean, I can tell you from the pictures he sent that, the rods are bad. So yeah, wonkiness of a tune or whatever. I guess we'll have to get to the bottom. More than anything, he's got to figure out what happened so it does not happen again. Because with stronger parts, it means something else will break. And it'll probably be much worse.
Nah, we'll get him fixed up at the power level he's at. We'll fix him up.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Tad,
yes.
What else you got? What'd you do this weekend?
Me?
Anything with your car going on?
Put spring conversion on my car so I can drive it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This drives a little funky, but
that's pretty boring.
Yep, for the most part.
It drives funky.
Yep, wonky even.
It looks like a 4-wheel drive car now.
Exactly. Mike says it won't settle though. They don't do that.
No, they probably won't. What about you, Michael?
Worked on a pull.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. Miserable job. I can tell you that I don't think that if there was a couple trades over the years that I've looked at that I would never do, even if I was living on the street somewhere, hanging sheetrock. The ceiling of my building, 12-foot boards at 5'8", 5/8 thick. Nah, not doing it. And you can add to that list mason work.
Well, that's an Italian thing.
I don't care if it's in my heritage or not. I can do the mason work, like patch little cracks in the basement walls, no problem. This was, look, it was a gunite pull, and it had to be, torn apart and fixed.
Yep,
it was bad. And I watched these guys do it. I watched what it took to do it. Could I have done it? Absolutely. Do I want to do it? Hell no.
I couldn't have done it.
No. So almost finished. Got plastered today, and I guess they acid wash tomorrow and fill it with water, and that whole problem over at Mom's house is finished.
Nice.
So that's all I did. I didn't do anything other, nothing really exciting.
I was in Florida.
Yes, you were.
Well, the hurricane.
And you went down there for the hurricane.
Yep.
But they downgraded it, so.
Well,
yeah.
you were on the West Coast, right?
Well, I was on the East Coast for the first day. And they were talking about it, and everybody was, batting in their hatches and
Scrambling.
Whatever else they do. They all got procedures down there. These things pop up out of the ground, and they hook these window covers and all kind of nonsense. Howard, he and I were talking during it, and he's like, man, I want my money back. This is like when you're, in upstate New York, and they say you're going to get a foot of snow, and you get an inch. So, but I guess it did pound, North and South Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, where's Howard? He's by Miami, right?
He's by Fort Lauderdale.
By Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
All right, so he's pretty far down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess because my friend lives in Boca, one of the guys that, electronics guy.
Yeah. That's about 30 miles north.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he was
20 miles north.
He has all kinds of crazy nonsense, like you said, like shutters that close and tie in, and roof straps that go around the whole house or some shit.
I think they call them hurricane shutters.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
As luck would have it.
He's got some kind of strap that goes like, I think from an anchor in the ground, like maybe over his entire roof.
Yep.
Like to stop the roof from, I mean, I would think that construction, but he went through all his crap, and then, biggest one was 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But the people up further, they got a little hammered.
All right. So, Jay's on the phone, but before we get him, somebody did correct us. Wonky is an adjective that means not straight, crooked, or askew.
Askew.
Now, I haven't used the word askew in a sentence in a while.
So Jeff's rods are wonky.
Yeah, I guess if you want to keep saying
or
that.
askew, but
Jeff, go sit in the penalty box just because that word is actually a word now.
Well, you didn't think it was a word?
I don't fucking know.
Of course it was a word.
Whatever.
it was on Charlie Chocolate Factory, wasn't it?
Bring in Jay, you're on, man.
What's going on?
How are you? Are you driving?
I am driving just for another couple minutes. I had to go drop off some car parts.
Better yet.
Wow, 24-hour day job. So, so we funny thing, and we didn't know this was going to happen. We just, the first guy that was on from Drag Week was the guy who won your class.
Oh man, he was in it to win it. That guy was working hard all week.
Yeah,
I think that he had a nice engine. It was a over 400-inch twin turbo deal, but I think it's strapped to just a lot of weight. That's
4,000 pounds.
Yeah,
it's like it's ridiculous. It reminds me of that there was like a 67 yellow Impala in Hot Rod years ago doing a wheelie, and it was like, fast for 4,100 pounds. You're like, why would anyone race such a big car? And now we're all racing 4,000-pound cars.
Yeah, because nobody has a choice. Well,
thanks, Dot.
Nobody has a plan.
Yeah. Well, yours isn't 4,000 pounds, right? Or Jared's?
It's 3,500, which is nothing to be. It's nothing to get excited about. It's in a world of racing a 3,000-pound car, things get a whole lot easier on everything.
Sure.
So it's definitely hauling excess baggage.
And on and on. So, tell us a little bit about your Drag Week experience. You've never done it before, right?
No, I've never done it. And Gio had pushed. He basically said, "We're going to go do this, so just be ready." And he got me signed up, and time came, and we went out and did it. But I'd always watched it, and I didn't think that it would be as incredible as it was. It turned out to be a really, really fantastic event. I mean, I'm starstruck. I could go on and on about how neat of an experience it was. So it was badass for sure.
So you and Gio did it. I didn't realize that.
No. Gio's Gio's the guy that pushes. So Gio says, if the thing's got 40 pounds of boost in it, Gio says put it to 45. It's just, he signs me up for these things because I'm just working.
Got
I spend most of my time working, so I don't keep track of the upcoming stuff. He does that stuff for me and just tells me to be ready.
So who did you do it with? I mean, you had.
I did it with a guy that was working for me. So him and I went and did it together.
Wow. And about midway, you guys had a pretty bad incident, right?
Well, I mean, from the outside looking in, yeah. You know, I may have a delusional sense of danger, because I didn't think that it was bad, and then, you know, whenever the 1320 guys had showed me the video, and I'm like, well, I guess that looks pretty bad.
All right. Well, I mean, so this is a radio show, so the people listening don't know what actually happened. So maybe I should have set it up. Jay, you broke the motor, right? And the car nearly got away from you. You grabbed the chute like a pro, and it straightened out. But you were 180 mile an hour or something.
I mean, over 170. You know, I mean, that first, I can take fault for a lot of it. You know, the thing goes 15 or so laps, and it'll push a gasket. It's just, you know, stock size head studs and a stock Toyota gasket. And I had said the night before, man, if we had time to slide a gasket in this thing, it would be the move. And we just didn't do it because the way that you have to run your days in order to be successful there is, you know, you have to have a pretty tight program. There isn't time to be behind, because then you don't sleep, and when you don't sleep, you're more prone to make mistakes. But the thing, it was probably, I don't know, it was a couple hundred feet from the stripe, and it gave me the warning sign, and I ignored it because it's a race of averages, right? So if you slow down, you blow your chances of winning. And as soon as I heard the engine thing up, I had the chute open, and then there was just in my mind, it's slow motion because I try to get myself really calm before I run the car. And the first pitch slide was really, really fantastic. I mean, to go not straight at that kind of speed is a really neat feeling. Now,
neat.
Fortunately, it didn't bounce off of anything. You know what I mean? So that would be, you know, that's obviously when things get really bad. But you know, it pitched a little bit to the right and just kind of danced around, and then once it settled down, I you know, kind of had a laugh. So
wow.
Well, you're talking about not having time. What is the format of the race program so people understand? Like you say, it's an average.
Okay, so you show up and you have 5 days, 4 tracks. You start at one track, you finish at that track, and then the people that put the race together, Hot Rod Magazine, they give you this treasure map. So if you take all day to produce the run that you're proud of, that's fine. If you make the run that you're proud of on your first hit, you turn in that time slip, they hand you a treasure map, and you take a 250 mile an hour or 250 mile hike to the next track. And during your transit to the next track, you have to stop at a couple different checkpoints and take a photo with the car at a checkpoint. That way they know that you're not shorting the route.
Mm-hmm.
And they have these routes planned through just, I mean, the drives were incredible. So you get these incredible drives and incredible views, and, you know, and you're doing it in this, you know, 7-second car. I mean, it was really, really neat. But
that does sound pretty damn cool.
Oh, I mean, dude, my buddy, the TRC Javier, he turned me on to these Bose headphones. So we got the roof off of this car because it's a target top, and, you know, you're driving through just beautiful America. You know, I covered every bit of music I own, and it was just fantastic. So, I mean, the drives were probably more fun than the racing, but the people were more fun than the drives and the racing, because the people that you run into in those types of events are just stellar.
That's great.
That is pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here wondering what the classes are all like. You know, like where
get the rules.
Yeah, it might be something interesting. That's really something. And boy, that does sound like fun.
Yeah, go buy a Hellcat. Drag week.
Now,
got comfy seats.
Was there
right.
was there anything like like legality wise, like, I mean, I know the cars have to be street legal and everything else, but I mean, the law enforcement of the area kind of like left everybody alone. I mean, obviously you're not.
And it is open arms.
Okay.
You're in middle America. I mean, there's the people, the residents of the areas that we were rolling through. I mean, if it was 3:00 in the afternoon or 3:00 in the morning, they were out at the checkpoints, just enthralled with enthusiasm. I mean, it wasn't a situation where you were going to get pulled over and they were going to measure tread depth and
yeah, exactly,
noise out of the tailpipe. None of that was happening.
Well, they don't come to Branchburg.
It was right. It was good old America type deal.
That's great.
That kind of shit would never fly here in New Jersey. Never, ever, ever.
Right.
Yeah, well, they would never do it here, but that's cool. I mean, I'm sure the food was great, country food, and just all of it. Does sound neat.
Yeah, I mean, it was, those guys at Hot Rod have really put together a fantastic event. I mean, just a fantastic, I mean, I got to talk with this dude that was there, he was probably in his, bottom 80s, and he had his 200-mile-an-hour hat from Bonneville on, and we talked about Audis, and we that thing pushed the gasket out of it. Well, we just tore it apart at the track, and it was cool because there were a bunch of guys around that were push rod guys. So here they are looking at this engine being dissected in the pits, and it's like, it's a good time to make jokes about, well, we don't have to worry about rocker arms and push rods and all this nonsense because it's basically a very simple engine. All you have to do is assemble it well, and the thing lives, and it gives you, pretty gratifying amount of horsepower without a lot of effort. And most domestic engines take a lot more effort to get that kind of yield out of them. But it's cool to show those guys that technology, firsthand. I mean, they were wide-eyed pulling that thing apart, which was pretty cool.
Where did you go to get it welded?
Indy cylinder head.
Indy cylinder head. Russ Flagel.
Yeah, I called and I was honest with the guy. I just said, "Hey, I'm on drag week and I made a mistake and I need this fixed. I need it fixed now. I understand that there's going to be an express fee on it. I'm cool with that. Can you do this for me?" And they said, "Yeah, bring it down." And there was an older gentleman there that I'm sorry I forget his name, but I have the same version of him here in Orlando at one of the older speed shops, and it was cool to listen to him. Just be lost in time, just a total encyclopedia of knowledge and not doing it the way, our generation expects for customer service. It's his way. And he said, "Look, I'm going to fix this for you, but you're asking me to do a roadside repair and we don't have time to cut seats and do all this stuff. We're just going to, fix this part that you've screwed up and you're going to be on with your day." And I'm like, "I'm totally fine with that, sir." So he was very good to us. And, looking back, they didn't even really charge us. They certainly didn't charge us for interrupting their day. So,
yeah,
they're racers at heart.
What's his name, Russ? Doesn't matter.
Sorry, I should know.
Did you deal with a guy named Ken?
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, Kenny Lazare. He's from New Jersey. I know him very well.
Well, it's funny. Somebody we just talked to, somebody that was on the show, shared a very similar experience. Like somehow or another, either sent something there to get it fixed immediately, or drove it or flew it there. I can't remember what it was. Who the hell was that?
Yeah, no, that was somebody talking about this, and we were arguing. I didn't know he went to Indy Cylinder Head.
No, that wasn't this. This was
different.
It's like over the summer.
All right.
Somebody broke something somewhere, and they went to Indy. But same kind of treatment. Good people.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
No, I mean they're solid. They don't even have a sign out front. They have like a little decal in the mailbox. Here's this, this place that's been building the premier Dodge cylinder head for however long they've been doing it,
long.
That's their deal, and they were good. And another racer volunteered to drive me there because I didn't have wheels. My car's there with the cylinder head off, and this guy's like, "Yeah, man, I'll take you." So he cruised me, 35 minutes in one direction, in exchange for lunch. I mean, the pedigree of people that are participating in this event is just the guys that you want to live next to. They're just good people. It was nice.
That's fantastic.
Are there any limits to the spare parts you can carry, or is it just what you can put in a trailer?
Carry a block. Like you can have spare heads. They don't want you to have a spare engine. So we carried a spare transmission, which we didn't need, which is amazing because the transmission that's in that car has a lot of runs on it now, and it just takes it like a champ. But we carried a spare trans. We carried basic tools and fluids, and a gasket and a pre-collapsed timing belt tensioner because I wasn't going to try to find a vise at the racetrack. So I said, well, I'm going to put a gasket in this thing. And I prepared for that, and that turned out to be what I, was going to face.
So pretty much they make it so you couldn't essentially carry a whole short block done with you and just swap, or for that matter, a little motor.
No, you can't. You can't. And we asked the question, but they can't, because then you're going to get these guys that aren't going to deal with the struggle of it. I mean, there was a gentleman with an El Camino that his stuff burned and he fixed it. There was the guy that won the class that I was in at the Camaro. I mean, I think they
had heads off twice
during the week.
Yep.
Right. Like, I mean, it makes you work for it. At one point we left after we fixed the car at Indy, we got to this little place for dinner, which was like the highlight. Cause if you stay late, you're not eating dinner. So we got to this place and had dinner before we got on the road. And then we were on the road and it was maybe like 1 o'clock in the morning. And we're just in the middle of corn, America. The corn hasn't been cut. It's just corn. It doesn't matter which way you look. It's corn.
But that's beautiful.
The car started sputtering, and I'm like, come on now, because we're in the middle of nowhere. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and it shut off, and I got to thinking about it, and I got out of the car. I'm like, thinking in my brain, like, what could be wrong? What could be wrong? What could be wrong? And I said, nothing's wrong. This is just this car fucking with me, giving me the full experience of drag week, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and it just stopped running. And I gave it about 5 minutes, and I said, look, I'm going to need you to turn back on and do your fucking job. Things started up, and we carried on. We didn't get to the next deal. We stopped at like 4. It was after 4 in the morning. We stopped and got some sleep, because none of the roads are fast roads. Like a 50 mile an hour road is probably a lot of the average for the roads. They have you on a lot of 2-lane, just farm, middle of nowhere roads, so you don't get to like make up time per se.
That's wild.
Yeah.
No, and I would love to drive through the heartland like that, because I think that's fantastic. Like, that's the kind of place that's perfect for me. Like wide open fields, that's nice.
All right. Well, listen,
it was nice.
I got one thing for you, and then we're going to have to cut you off to our next competitor. But did you guys race in Florida this weekend?
I did, and it was terrible. I was screwing with the bump box in the parking lot at the shop, and I got it set up to where I was happy with how much it was moving the car. And I went to the track, first round, put the thing in the first bulb, got up on the 2-step, pushed the button for the bump box, car didn't move. There I am, finger blasting the button for the bump box, nothing's happening. Let off the gas, bumped the button, bumped the trans brake button with my other finger. The thing goes through, breaks the beam, engine, can't come back up in time. And I was just like,
fat kid.
What frustrated me is I just had gone through it the evening before, and made sure that it was going to do its thing, because the track was pretty greasy on Saturday. So I toned down, it's a small engine. You have a small window of opportunity to get that thing moving off the starting line.
Yep.
And when the track's greasy, you're going to be faced with a challenge. So I thought that I had prepared for it enough, and a dollar button wrecked my weekend.
That sucks. Well, next time. Hey, listen, we got to get this other guy, but we we'd like to have you on for a whole show.
Yeah, I want him back for a whole show. We could talk about the business and everything associated with it.
We could do if you want to do a RealStreet show and show off a little bit,
cool, because we're getting there.
Yeah, I know you guys. I've been telling Mike.
Team.
Yep.
The team is. We like the guys that now. It's just going to be building the baddest team, and the guys are coming now. So that place is is really impressive.
I know. Well, we'll get you lined up in the coming weeks for a full show.
Yeah.
But, all right, brother. We appreciate it.
In your hood this weekend, if you're around, I'll
oh yeah, you're coming up. Yeah, call me if you're coming up for that thing, right?
Yeah.
Finally. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll talk. We'll talk during the week.
All right. Have a good evening, guys.
Thanks, man.
See you. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
I know. He's great.
Well, he's great, but that whole, you're getting more detail.
The experience and all. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's probably me, but I would, I look at things wasn't I talking to you, Tad, or maybe it was Fudd? I was talking to somebody, and I was trying to find a place where I'd want to live. Yeah. And I'm looking in Kansas because that's just kind of where I want to be. Let's say,
you're a misfit.
500 square acres, and right smack in the middle, there's a house.
Yep.
That's me. I'd love to drive through out there.
Nah.
So then let's do Drag Week next year.
I can't get anything done I want to do.
I know
let alone
you can't.
Something like this.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, and we don't do shit. We don't even have a fucking T-shirt.
That's not my fault. I was not in charge of the T-shirt.
It's coming. All right, let's get this.
We have Jason.
Yeah. Do we?
Yes.
All right.
I believe it's Jason. Jason, you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Sorry about the delay.
Now, can you do me a favor? Can you pronounce your name? I want to make sure I got it right.
It's Doisher.
Doisher. Okay.
That's what we said.
I don't know.
We did.
I have my New Jersey accent. I'm terrible.
Tad said dossier.
I did?
No.
Okay.
I think that was me.
that sounds high class.
Yeah, right?
So, Jason,
Yo.
84 Mercury Marquis. Now, I got to ask you, how did that happen? I mean, what made you decide that's the car?
I got to be honest, I kind of copied somebody. A buddy of mine and I put a LS in a Fairmont station wagon back in '02.
There you go.
One of the first ones around here to do that, and we did the power tour with that car in '04, and one of the stops was...
I kind of think I remember that.
It was a brown Fairmont wagon, and it was kind of well known. The car run 1030s.
And the Fairmont wagon is not especially ugly. It's actually not that bad looking a car.
No, I wanted to do the Mercury version because the front end is a little bit different. But we had so much fun in that car and so much response from people. I thought if I ever do, another car, that's what I'll do. So here I am.
And they're fairly cheap too.
A little cleaner, a little nicer, but it's been a blast. It's a fun car.
So what class were you in?
I was in street race, small block, power adder.
Street race?
Competitive class.
What's it say? It is
street race.
Uh-huh.
It's street race, small block, power adder.
Okay. How many cars were in it?
Class. There was 39 cars in that class.
Wow. Oof. So it's a popular class.
Yeah, very popular class. That is probably the most popular class outside of the street eliminator, where they do the bracket race at the end of the week. But a very competitive class. Obviously a lot of people have, street cars that want to race. Small block, usually a power adder of choice. So, very competitive class. A lot of fun. And the cap is 850. You can't go no faster than 850. So your car's got to be certified with a 10-point style cage.
Okay, so so how do you win then if there's a cap on it?
Whoever can average through the week, the 5 days, closest to 850.
So it's like a week-long bracket race.
It's more like index racing than bracket.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sorry. Exactly.
And it sounds easy in theory, but obviously you're 4 different racetracks in 5 days in different weather conditions, and it depends on what time you get on the track. I heard Jay talking. I don't know all of what he said, but if you get out there late and the track's hot and you're using all you got to get down the racetrack, if the track's greasy, you're in trouble. So it's easy in that I got to run an 850 throughout the week. Difficult in that I got to pay attention to what the other competitors are doing and turn in the fastest time slip. If you go an 849 with a 9, you got to make another pass.
Oof. Yeah, I wasn't saying or even thinking that it was easy to do that for a week.
No, not only that, I think that's actually particularly tough because these things go so fast that, if this is not what you do with this car week in and week out, and to have a little bit of adhesion problem throws everything off. That's because the number's so fast at 3,500 pounds for the car.
I knew I was going not to win. I was shooting for a top 5. Each year has got a little bit more competitive. And I made my top 5, so I was pretty happy. We were traveling in a group of 4. One of my buddies won his class. Oddly enough, he raced street race big block power adder with an LS motor. The cutoff is 440 cubic inches, and he had or 430 cubic inches. He had a 434. So that bumped him up, and he won that class. And then my business partner, for 2 years in a row, he came in second in the same class I'm running in, the street race small block power adder. So when you're going out there to have fun, you're not necessarily trying to win. In my case, I was running balls out each day. I went an 867, 3 days, 866 one day and an 863 one day. So it was a little easier for me. Now, on the other hand, for them, it was obviously a lot more difficult because their cars are, 830, 820 cars, so they're having to slow their cars down to run the 850. So I think one day John made 6 or 8 passes in one day.
Wow. That's a lot. So the index for the big block class is 850 as well?
You gotta beat the holy living shit out of your car, and then hope that you can make it to the track the next day.
Yeah, all that hot lapping.
Yeah, for sure.
So the big block class that your buddy was in, that index is 850 as well?
Yes, 850 as well. And that is because the NHRA certification for the class.
Right. The safety regs.
Right. So it's more quote-unquote street cars. The super street class is the next class up, and those guys have funny car style cages. So you can't have a funny star car cage in the street race class. So they do try to control the class the best that they can, so you don't have somebody that's turning their cars way down and potentially dominating the class.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, big a real big tire car that's light, turn it down.
But the reality is all those guys that are being competitive, their cars are running 830s. James went an 827 the last day, and John went an 843, I think, his very first pass. And his car was turned on at that time. So, if you have a lot of data on your car, I guess it would be easier if you're looking at the weather, track conditions, and so on. But the reality is you still got to get your car from one track to the next, and that all on its own. I heard Jay talk a little bit. The roads that they send you down are pretty wild. Some crazy ass shit that you can imagine being in a 2-lane road in the middle of the night with no shoulder. Your car breaks down, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You really are. So.
And you can't.
A lot of people say they want to do it. I suggest everyone that's in the cars and in a racing, give it hell. It is an absolute blast. It is the best ass whooping you'll ever have in your entire life. I promise you that.
It really sounds like a lot of fun. Out of everything I've heard, this sounds like the most fun.
It does sound like fun.
So I got to ask you a couple questions about your car specifically.
Okay.
Who built your motor?
GM.
We knew that. That's pretty cool.
I'll tell you real quick. This was actually the 4th motor in the car. I had 3 motors that I had some problems with. They were quote-unquote built motors. And, you get online and you see all these people going fast with stock bottom end motors. So I thought, what the hell? I bought me a motor for $550. The guy had no clue what the mileage was. I took it apart. The main bearings, the rod bearings, the cam bearings looked absolutely perfect. I was blown away how clean it was. I gapped the rings, and I put the motor right back together. So everybody always wants to know, did I change the rod bolts? No. Did I change the main studs? No. It is a genuinely stock GM short block. I have no idea what the mileage is, with stock piston, stock rod, stock crank.
You just put some ring gap in it, so you didn't butt them.
I put ring gap in it. Yep.
That's amazing.
So
That's crazy.
I heard, again, Jay kind of talking about, I'm leaving on 17 pounds of boost in this car. So if the track is a little sketchy, then I'm not going nowhere. So to make this car run, that's the whole key to this car, is I run 27 pounds of boost on this car. I'm leaving on 17, and it's ramped in at 0.3, 0.4. It's all in.
Wow.
I am blown away, like most people, that this motor has lasted.
All right, don't talk about it too much. I'm serious, man, because it'll,
Jinx it?
He's going to go out in the garage and the crankshaft's already lying on the floor.
That's awesome. That is crazy.
How many passes in total you think that thing has on it?
I got every time slip, and I've got 38 passes on it. So I did. I'm sure you know Hot Rod Magazine has the Power Tour.
Yeah.
Okay, I did the entire Power Tour with that car a few months back. So I live in Dallas. I'm from down there in Louisiana, and that's where it was starting. So I drove the car from here down there by myself, picked up my buddy that lives down there, and he came back to Dallas with me. He caught an airplane back. I picked up my daughter and my business partner's son, and we went all the way up to Kansas in the car in June, hot as hell. Saturday, they had a roadkill drag night out at Kansas City, the Motor Speedway, on the pit road. They quote-unquote prepped it and, drug some tires and sprayed it. It was the slickest shit ever on planet Earth for me. They were paying out 4 places. I placed 4th out of 122 cars.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Pretty stoked about that. And the car performed flawlessly. Didn't have a single issue. And I packed it up drag week style.
I am blown away by all 3 of the guys we've had on here. 2 of them are by luck.
Yeah.
This is pretty fucking cool.
Who tuned your car?
James Carter. He's the guy that won the big block class. He has a white Mustang with an LS in it. It's calibrated by Carter, LS tuner. He is a good friend of ours. He's associated with us business wise. So he tunes all of the cars. Good guy and a good tuner. So I do have to put a lot of faith in my combination and his abilities.
Whose system is it? Who's the ECU?
It's Holly. It's Holly EFI.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 for Holly.
Yeah. Yep. I heard that stuff's really good.
Yeah. I started with fast, so I have a little bit of experience. We struggled a little bit with the fast, mostly because we didn't have any experience with it, and I was impatient. So I did drag week last year with the fast, and I changed to the Holly, and I absolutely love it. It's an incredible system. I think Holly's just does stuff probably better than most, but I think they kind of sat back, waited to see what the EFI world was doing, and then kind of put the combination of components together for the most user-friendly system. I'll say that.
Wow. Well, that's a pretty good advertisement for them.
Yeah, we got a guy on here, Nathan, who says you need to share pictures of your wagon and Nova.
Yeah, I got a Nova too. I've been neglecting for a long time.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to hook us up with some pictures of all this stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, you could just put them right to our Facebook.
Back to the combination. A lot of people always want to know what's going on with the motor. So it's got a Melling oil pump. It's got a Moroso oil pan. If you don't have a good oil control system, no motor you put in the car is going to last, right?
Yep.
It's got stock LS9 head gaskets, nothing special. It's got cheap eBay head studs. The heads are bone stock. I did a valve job on them and put valve springs, push rods, and it's got a Brian Tooley valve springs. It's got a Little John Motorsport Stage 2 turbo cam. So it's really simple stuff. I mean, this is all off-the-shelf components.
Now, did you pull any compression out of it at all with like thicker head gaskets or anything, or no?
No. Motor's 10-1.
Okay.
What do you run for fuel?
Actually, I run, the car's actually got a flex fuel sensor on it, so I run both pump gas and E85.
Sweet.
So when I'm racing the car, I'm on E.
Yep.
I got a content gauge through the Holly so I could see how much alcohol I got. And then when I did the power tour, it was on 87 octane the whole way.
Ugh.
Yeah, because they have that. I remember that. They have a fuel requirement, don't they?
Oh, is that a rule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that a rule?
For the power tour, no, it's just cruising. It's a big rolling car show.
Huh.
One of these things had a pump rule.
Yes, there are some rules against fuel that you can and can't use.
Wow.
But E85 is perfectly legal. And then, we were up north, so we used an app, it's an alternative fuel app, and we were able to do the entire drag week on E85. So we didn't have to worry about switching fuel, so we were able to keep the content up. You know, if you're putting pump gas and then you mix it with E85, you're going to bring your content down. So we were able to stay on E85 the entire week, which is, you know, it's a cheap fuel. I mean, hell, I'm running 860s on fuel that costs $1.60 a gallon.
Yeah,
I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, pretty hard to beat that.
Hell yeah, it's a big deal.
And you know, he has a little bit of a bad rap. You know, you got to pay attention to where you're getting it. You got to use filters. I mean, you got to take care of your shit when you're using that fuel. But for the most part, it's pretty damn incredible fuel.
Yep. One of our guys.
Always pay for the money.
One of our guys wants to know how big the turbo is.
It's a Borg Warner 80 millimeter.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Not the biggest.
It's just a straight up stock Borg Warner.
It's got a billet wheel. It's the 132 exhaust housing. It's got a 96 millimeter exhaust wheel. It's a little big for the 5.3 as far as if I was going to drive it around every day. You know, it's got some turbo lag. But as far as the combination goes, I mean, I'll leave at 4,400 RPM at, like I said, 18 pounds of boost. So as far as what I'm doing drag racing, it works perfect.
Yeah. And how heavy is the car?
3,500 pounds.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty
Power
cool.
glide in it. Got a power glide in it, and it's got a 327 rear gears. Got an 8.8 Mustang rear end in it.
Wow.
And I will tell you, with a 327 gear and a 28-inch tall tire, highway drive all day long.
Yeah,
I am blown away by that.
I know, that's crazy.
Now, I got to ask you, the trans and converter, you said it's got a glide.
Yeah.
And because this is my lack of experience with turbo cars, is it a tight enough converter that if you add a boost, it drives nice?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
That was the next thing that I was getting ready to say. The key to these builds is always the converter. I think anybody would tell you that about most any combination.
Sure.
But yes. The car drives nice, but that converter works. When I let off the trans brake on the log, that converter goes 64, 6,500 within a tenth of a second. So that's what makes that car leave and work.
Yeah. But off boost, it's probably pretty tight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
I think you abused my term, Tom. I used like mushy or something. I said something.
Wonky?
But yeah, they're mushy when you got something loose enough to be good. But when you can artificially induce all that torque,
yeah,
that's fantastic.
You got it. You got it 100%. The NA guys, you know, they got loose-ass converters and hard as hell to drive around. You know, those guys that do that, man, that's the guys that I always got to give the most props to. They got crazy gears in these cars, and then these loose-ass converters, and, you know, crazy camshafts and valve springs. Those guys are hardcore like no other class.
Yeah.
I say that, you know, those guys that are racing those pro mods, that's pretty insane shit. You know, Jeff Lutz,
yep,
Larry Larson, all those guys that do that stuff. That shit's impressive. Like, you know, nothing compares to that as far as what they're doing in those classes. But for the average Joes like us, you know, if you're running an NA class, you got to be on your P's and Q's to get that shit done.
Yep, no doubt. That's really, really neat. Man, we had three really cool stories.
Yeah, this is, I am honestly, I got to tell you, I mean, not taking away nothing from Clark, you know, but this is a pretty amazing car.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you look at it on the surface, you say, yeah, 860, yeah, the other guy went faster, but this is a hell of a ride. Yep. This is really.
Have y'all not seen pictures of the car at all?
No. I mean, actually, like I said, what happened is Kevin, you know, listener, you know, got us in touch with some of you guys. I mean, we've never done this, and that's how we got in touch with you guys. I mean, Tom probably could have, you know, I mean, he certainly knew RealStreet, and there, you know, Tom's known Jay for a while, but like the other people that ran in this event, we didn't have any exposure. So he was nice enough to put us together with a couple guys, and you were one of them. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty thrilled. So pictures of car.
You guys are going to shit when you see the car.
Okay. Well, you put some pictures up as soon as you can, because now I'm dying to see it.
It's got a stock hood. It's got all the stock interior. The car's mini tubbed. I kept the original carpet front and rear, so I was able to trim that up. I'm kind of crazy about attention to detail, so I narrowed the back seat so it fit the tubs, but still yet fold down flat like it did from the factory. And then I got Kirky front seats. You know, obviously I wanted to be safe, so I got Kirky seats. So I had those cars in the 80s had tweed interior, right? So I had my buddy make me seat covers in tweed to match the rest of the car. So the car's tan with tan interior. And then I painted the cage tan, so you can't hardly even see the cage in the car.
This is hilarious.
I know. You got to put some pictures up.
I'll do it. As soon as I get off, the dashboard stock. I got the Holly screen, so I have no gauges in the car. So yeah, it definitely surprises a few people.
Oh, you got like that Holly
wheels.
Interface.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Dash,
gotcha.
Yeah. What? How big is the tire?
It's a 275/60.
Oh my God. Dude, well, the worst thing is like this thing has a relatively, a stock motor.
It's probably got a shifter on a column.
Yeah, but it's probably but it probably sounds like a stock car.
Yeah.
Now I will say this: I have a fender exit exhaust.
Okay.
I do have an exhaust that I built to go underneath the car. But the car has a fender exhaust, so it's not super quiet. It's not the loudest thing in the whole wide world, but I do have, that is the one thing, that and the wheels. It's got weld wheels on it that kind of give the car away. But if the car is rolling down the road, you would never know. You would never know.
Why'd you powder coat them flat black, man?
I got some weld wheels with some hubcap adapters.
No, you don't. That's sick.
So the Nova's kind of the same theme. The Nova's crazy as far as super sleepers, steel wheels, hubcaps, all that shit. But budget, right? Time and budget. Eventually, I'm going to do my wheels, little Ford center caps, and then build the exhaust off the back. For sure.
Man. You going to do it next year?
Totally sleeper. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think once you do it, I don't know how you not do it. I'll be honest with you. The first year I rode with my business partner, John, the first day I was like, screw this. I'm finishing up my car. I'm going to do this next year in my own car. So 14, we did it in his car, had an absolute blast. 15, I did it in my car. I wasn't competitive, but it was nonetheless. I completed it in a week. I'm going to tell you right now, I couldn't imagine the heartbreak of signing up, driving wherever, and then not completing the event. That's got to be a struggle for a lot of people that don't get to complete it, because that would be definitely heartbreaking. All the work and effort that goes into getting ready and getting there, and then to have some shit happen that you don't get to complete it. That would be heartbreaking for sure.
All right, one more question I got to ask you. What color is the engine block?
It's Ford blue.
Nah.
So listen, I always think that we're well past the point of people putting motors in different cars and it not being a big deal, but I don't know anybody that's hot rodding these cars. Okay, so I put this motor in this car, and I get all kind of help from the Ford guys. So when I put this motor in, I thought, you know what, I'm going to appease everybody. I'll paint it Ford blue. So anytime I get any flack, I make sure to show the guys, hey, I accommodated you. I painted the block blue.
That's great.
Fantastic.
I'll picture that up too.
Fantastic. Hell, we could have him on as a full show guest, just about all his cars.
Yeah. I got to tell you, this has been a hell of a lot of fun, and I am really looking forward to seeing this particular car.
Let me say this before we have to go. So the experience is this: the camaraderie between these guys that are doing this. There's been 300, 350 people. This year was 350. Last year was 300. They're all like-minded people doing this event. So these are genuinely car guys through and through. Most of them work on and build their own cars. And I think every one of them have a heart of gold. If anybody needs anything, somebody is going to do something to make sure that you get it. I heard Jay say something about the guy with his car that caught on fire. Most people, even the guy that owned the car, would be disheartened enough to be done. Not the drag week group. Don't let that happen. They don't stop until the mission is completed. So you have a time window, right? You have 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock each day. So if you don't make the 2 o'clock cutoff and make your pass, well, then obviously you're disqualified from the event. They let you continue to go on, and he did that. He ended up making a pass Friday. But the experience with the other people, the camaraderie is immeasurable. I have been around car people all of my life, car show people, drag race people, but these particular people are a different group of people. So if you guys do have a chance to even just go and watch, maybe if you don't get to participate, you need to go to one of the events and watch. Walk around the pits and talk to these people. It's amazing.
How many people can you bring? Like, it's 2 people per car? That's it?
Four.
So you can bring 4.
Yes.
So so in a car like yours, it'd be pretty comfortable.
Yep.
Now he's got a narrow back seat.
That's all right.
A lot of people.
We only have 3.
People pull trailers. I don't use a trailer since I got a station wagon to pack all my shit inside the car.
Craziness. All right. Well,
yeah, you guys got to check it out.
We got a lot of talking to do here.
Well, listen, who do you want to give any props to? Anybody that helped you with this or
Shout
anything
out.
or your business, whatever works for you, man. Honestly, whatever you need.
James Carter is the tuner. It's lstuner.com. He's the guy, like I said, won the big block class. An amazing friend, an amazing guy, and a hell of a tuner. I'll say that. And then, I've always wanted to open up a business. So my buddy and I decided to quit our badass jobs and open up a shop a year and a half ago. And it's anything automotive. We do a little bit of anything and everything. We really didn't want to work for anybody else, so we have been giving it hell. And he's the one that came in second 2 years in a row. His name's John Dotson. He's got a blue Malibu. But man, you know, anything that you do in life like this, typically there's got to be a group that are behind you and getting this stuff done. So the guys at the shop, we have Jay, we have Frank, we have Jared, and then John and myself. An amazing group. Those guys held it down while we were going to be able to do this. So, very fortunate. I got to say that I'm super fortunate as far as that part goes. And then my wife, man, Maggie. Maggie gets the car craze. She's a little bit of a car nut herself. So, if you don't have a strong support system at home, well, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. That's good for you. Hey, do you guys do you build engines at your Anything Auto deal?
We do everything. So,
well, do me a favor. Put a link up on our Facebook page somewhere to your place, and we'll move it to the front. And I may give you a call. I might be able to hook you up with some people that you could buy some parts from.
Awesome. Well, I'll do it for sure.
Because you sound like the right guy.
Yeah. Professional, enthusiastic. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well,
yes.
Awesome. You got anything else, Mike?
No. I'm shocked that this turned into this show. I really am.
I know.
Jason, man, thank you very much. It was informative and fun. And look, if your tuner wants to come on and talk about all this stuff, have at it. Seriously.
Well, one more little tidbit.
Sure.
So because we had experience with Drag Week and we knew the struggles. Listen, the struggle of Drag Week is one thing. The shit that people do just to get ready is immeasurable. So because we had so many struggles last year in taking our 3 cars, James decided he's gonna do a documentary on his own. So we have more video and footage of before and during Drag Week than anybody that's done this event. So
cool.
He is putting that together now, and you will see the struggles from not just at the racetrack, but from drive, from one track to the next, and then all the stuff that we went through just getting these cars ready. So I think he would be good for you guys to have on the show, just about what he went through personally to get his car done, and then doing his documentary amidst all of that stuff.
Yeah, glad to do that. Whatever.
It would actually be fantastic.
Have him get in touch with the show. Actually, Kevin, the guy who hooked us up with you, he just sent me a message on Facebook, and then Mike took over and talked to him, and I got my guy. But tell him to post a message on Facebook, and I'll get with him, and we'll see if we can get him on. You guys sound like great people.
Sounds good, man.
Well, we appreciate your time, man, and the stories. I'm sure we'll have more coming from you at some point.
Awesome, and thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Really, Jason, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All righty, guys.
See ya.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right.
What a great fucking guest.
Yeah.
That guy is awesome.
Well, it sounds like they're all like that. So
yeah. I mean, I think the theme here is that everybody that's done Drag Week said the people, the
camaraderie.
People, scenes, everything is just fantastic.
Yep. Really cool. I think that was a good show.
I think it was a really good show. And we got to say, special thanks to Kevin for actually,
Yeah, Kevin hooked it up. It's actually his idea.
Yeah, was his idea.
Yeah, it was his idea, and he furnished 2 of the people.
Well, I mean, you know these people some of the people that do Drag Week, but you don't have.
I'm not that smart.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The problem. I'm not that bright.
We know by the T-shirts.
Yeah.
But it's
exactly.
you don't have I mean, this is not something that's like a core focus of your customer base. I mean, there's not a ton of people that do this. It's 300 and something.
Right. So it was a great tip that he gave us to do this.
We would have never found these guys, what I'm trying to say.
Nope, we wouldn't.
So Kevin, thank you. When we finally do get t-shirts, I promise you will get one.
Yeah.
Can I just say, if we actually went out on this tour with these guys, we'd wreck it.
Why? I can be nice.
When?
What are you saying?
When?
Always.
Yeah, okay.
He actually has a point there.
I can be, so I got to stay home, huh?
Pretty much. Guys, social misfit.
Well, I got to tell you, like I said,
we could do. We'll get a 4-door car.
There we go.
Throw Tad in the back or in the trailer.
Oh, there's a wagon just like that out on 202.
Horse trailer.
Well, we
This
can't
dumbass
copy
in the
that.
back.
Blue Fairmont.
All right. Well, I mean, look, that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Thanks for everybody calling in, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah, we will.
We'll try to do even better.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Yep.